How's everyone today? Lively bunch. My name is Chad. I'm the president and CEO of the bookstore. You may be asking yourself, why is there a president and CEO of the bookstore? That doesn't make any sense to me. The bookstore is a separate 501c3 operation. So we are owned by the students and faculty of Montana State University. We're part of a group of related businesses that work with the university. So like the Alumni Foundation has a president and CEO, the Museum of the Rockies. All of us together work, we're all separate companies, but we work together to support the university in different ways. The way that we work to support the university is that our mission is to lower the cost of course materials for all MSU students. So throughout the entire presentation today, it'll probably get a little old hearing this from me, but every dollar you spend goes to lower the cost of course materials. We'll get into specific numbers on that in a little bit here, but I want you to know right up front, we are here for you. Exactly the why behind what we do. So moving along, the first question I have is sort of an interesting one, which is, I spent a little bit of time with your students last night, and congratulations. They're fantastic students. I have two of my own. They're not quite college age yet. One won't turn around and face the camera usually. That's my son Jackson, he's 8. My daughter Piper, she's 13. They're die-hard Bobcats, they can't wait to be here. So my question for you is, how did you do it? Because I don't know, like they get along until they don't. So I don't know if it's like that in your household, but it is a challenge. So really not a question, but just congratulations to you all for getting your students this far. So like I said, we are here for you. Our mission, lower the cost of course materials. Here's all of our basic information, where we're located in the Strand Union Building, which is this building. In the lower level, we don't call it the basement, we call it the lower level or the garden level. It sounds a little bit better. And we're also out at the mall, Gallatin Crossing. We've got a small retail operation out there. Website 24/7, msubookstore.org. That's our phone number. During the semester, we're open 7:45 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, we're open 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on a Saturday. The mall is open Sunday during mall hours. Saturdays, the only time those hours change is if there's a late football game. We'll open later and stay open later. Just depends on if it's an 8:15 game or 6 p.m. kickoff. Over here, as I was talking, one of the biggest programs we're going to talk about today, and the most important reason you're in this room, is inclusive access, which is a digital textbook delivery model that we use here on campus. 97% of students that enroll in a class that use inclusive access choose to stay within inclusive access. That's a really important number. We're going to go through all the process and what's involved in that. But that is significantly higher than the average nationally, and there's a reason for that. Our textbooks, print textbooks, on average, 20% less expensive than any of our competition. That includes any other university here in the state. $800,000, that is the direct, that's actually on the low side, but to be rounded. But that is the direct savings in course materials to MSU students last year through our inclusive access program alone. So that's the difference that they saved by being enrolled in that program versus purchasing textbooks in a print format just elsewhere. We are the only Apple certified repair center in the state. So when, I say when, your student has a laptop issue, it's always the roommate's fault. None of your students are going to be the roommate, I understand that, but there's always an issue. We do have to tell students, this was a legitimate question I got asked in the student presentation, was whether or not coffee counted as a liquid. Coffee does count as a liquid, and it will destroy your laptop. That is not a joke, that is a legitimate question that I got asked. We can fix anything. We've got an awesome repair tech. We're expanding. Hopefully by the time you're back on campus, we'll be able to repair phones. We're working through all of that. We have education pricing, so on all Apple products, software, anything like that, we price at educational pricing. When I say educational pricing, what I mean is if you go buy a MacBook from us, I guarantee it is less expensive than any other place you're going to be able to get it. I will price match. Like every now and then Best Buy will run a sale where they undercut educational pricing. You have a copy of that, we'll discount to it. Like we will be the lowest possible price. If you special order a laptop, a MacBook from us right now, and you pick it up prior to the start of the semester, we're going to knock another $50 off that educational price right now. So we are very aggressive in our pricing. We sell Apple Care, which I recommend to everybody. That's the extended warranty. We sell that less expensive than Apple does directly through their website even, and then we repair it here on campus. If your student already has a machine, it doesn't matter if it's a PC or if it's an Apple product, we will repair it. It does not have to be purchased through us to do the repair. And do we have any non-residents here? Awesome, we don't have any sales tax. So it's a great time to buy a laptop, iPad, anything like that, the accessories, peripherals. We can special order anything in. Years ago, we built a computer for Jack Horner, who is the paleontologist over at the Museum of the Rockies years ago. Pretty wild machine, so we can build pretty much anything for your student or even for you. We have the largest art supply store in the state of Montana. That's a humble brag, I guess. It's pretty cool. We have a lot of community members that come into the store and purchase stuff from us. Anything from paintbrushes and stuff like that, all the way down to we have pallets of gray clay, so ceramicists, all that kind of stuff that people come down and purchase from us. We also, do we have any architecture and engineering students? Okay, so your student will spend 90% of their time in Cheever Hall, and then the other 10% of their time in the bookstore buying supplies to go back to Cheever Hall. So they'll get to know Trevor, our art buyer, really well. He will get them anything they need required for classes, and then, like I said, the largest art supply store in the state. We have everything. I don't understand any of it. A paintbrush is a paintbrush to me, but there's probably offending the artists in the room, but there's a lot of different kinds of paintbrushes and all that kind of stuff. Trevor's an absolute expert on it. He also runs an art gallery downtown that we do some stuff with off and on as far as the shows and things like that. So a very cool, unique feature here at the store. And then also school supplies, anything your student needs, there's no reason for them to go off campus. We have everything, notebooks, highlighters, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't noticed, we saw a little bit of Bobcat gear. We are the largest supplier of Bobcat gear, probably nationally. We say in the state, but I don't think anybody in Wyoming is selling our stuff, so I feel pretty confident about saying that we are national. Again, referring back to the mission, everything you see on this screen right now, the profit from that goes to lower the cost of course materials. So everything that we do, like I said, all the revenue that's generated from logo gear, it goes back to support lowering those costs of course materials. I always tell people if we can legally logo it, it's available downstairs. A few of our students have come here to ski, snowboard, fish, hunt, and hike, and also get a degree. And so for those students, we provide a pretty large selection of outdoor equipment. Everything from satellite communication devices, so like the Garmin InReach, we do carry those. We highly recommend that if your student's going to be out and outside of cell coverage. I spend a lot of time in the backcountry. The Apple satellite texting is a nice feature, but the Garmin InReach is guaranteed, right? You hit a button, you know you're getting search and rescue out there. You can get additional insurance with it. And then back and forth communication to family members is great. And now they just released with the InReach Mini 3. You can do voice texting and photo texting with the InReach Mini 3. So pretty cool device that we sell in the store. We do, the Garmin watches, all that kind of stuff. Freeze-dried food, stoves, stove fuel, camping supplies. If you got a skier, we do beacons, we do probes, we do avalanche airbags, we can get all that stuff in for them. Snowshoes, you name it, we can get it. We're a major supplier for all of these outdoor brands. We're Yeti's 5th largest collegiate retailer in the country. We sell a lot of Yeti. We're the only collegiate retailer for Sitka and for Duckworth. And we got another brand we're going to launch here soon. Dark Energy for power supply, all that kind of stuff. All the major brands you're familiar with, like REI or Sportsman's Warehouse, we carry them here in the store. Same pricing, because everything in the outdoor industry is minimum advertised price. Again, the difference is the profit from these outdoor sales go back to lower the cost of course materials. We're also a very convenient stop for your student before they head out of town to go spend time outside, which a few, like 90% of the students do. You can see this today. We have a custom print shop called Blank Canvas Creative. We're doing a custom pop-up event at the front of the store today. You come in and make your own t-shirts and stuff. Your students have access to that all the time. You have access to that all the time. We do quite a bit of projects for local businesses. We did, there's a couple private jet companies in town. We've done the rugs for their planes. We've done that kind of stuff. We do landscaping company, shirt designs. We do most of the student organizations on campus. We do their logo designs. If you see something you want in the store but you don't have it in your size, we can do a custom version of it in this shop as well. It's run by Maddie Michaels, who's our director of BCC. She does a fantastic job. Custom embroidery, heat pressing, mugs, regular print jobs. We do all of that, and it's all available directly in the store. There's the website, montanablankcanvas.com, or at Blank Canvas Creative on social, and this is the direct line for that there. Fantastic resource for your students. We do a lot of custom, like the minimums are 1, so we have a lot of students that have a friend who's having a birthday and they make a crazy birthday t-shirt, or we have a lot of alumni who come back and do bachelor and bachelorette shirts, stuff like that. Every now and then we get a student who does a bachelor or bachelorette shirt. We run a town pump without the gas pumps downstairs for convenience, so we have everything, including healthy options for food. We sell mostly beef jerky and chips, but it's all available downstairs. Pretty much anything food-wise that you could possibly want we have. We have a massive drink cooler. We sell an unhealthy amount of Red Bull, like 800 cans a month, which is disgusting to me, but man, we sell a lot of Red Bull. And then over-the-counter medications, all that kind of stuff. We have anything. There really is no reason for your student to go off campus. So if they don't have a car, it's not a detriment to them. Like anything they need, we have. Again, when it comes to like OTC medications, we can special order stuff into. Okay, this is kind of rush through everything so we can get to this, because this is the most important part of the presentation is the course materials part. So obviously your students here to learn. Course materials are the biggest learning investment they're going to make throughout their time here. Everybody that was a student remembers buying books. It's not a very exciting process. We're going to teach you today it's a little bit more exciting, if I can say that. It's less painful here than it is at other places. So a couple things to know. These are our major ways that we have course materials available format-wise. Inclusive access is about 70 to 75% of the courses available on campus are going to be in this program, and we'll walk through that directly in a minute here. Traditional textbooks are what all of us are used to, digital materials that are available through the library. That'll be denoted on the student syllabus. If they need a print version of that, we can get that for students at very low cost, usually $35 to $45. We do have course packets as well. I kind of fit that into traditional textbooks because they're printed here locally, and we just have them on the shelf. Most importantly though, inclusive access. So the way that this program works, in a couple weeks, well, tomorrow your student's going to register for classes. Once they register, you're going to get a bill in a couple weeks. On that bill, if your student is enrolled in an inclusive access class, you will see an inclusive access book fee on that, on your tuition bill. The student has 15 days from the start of the semester to try that out. At the end of the 15-day trial period, which is also coincides with the last day to add and drop the class, we then look at all those that have opted out of that program and we refund that fee back to them. So you're charged up front. If you decide to not use it, you're refunded after the 15th day of classes. 97% of students stay in that. Reason being, we guarantee this is the lowest possible price on this product. It's mandated by the Department of Education, and so it's seamless. It's integrated directly into Canvas. Your student goes in, there's the digital course materials button. They click on it, takes them right to the material. Typically, these materials have some sort of homework manager attached to them. They take quizzes directly in the platform, all that kind of stuff. So 9 times out of 10, there isn't even another option for them as far as like, they could go purchase that digital access by themselves, but it's going to be significantly more expensive. If they want a print version of that material, we can get that. But as I said, typically there's a lot of like online homework and stuff like that that's associated with inclusive access. 70% of our courses right now are in inclusive access. So the rush period that when you get to school in August looks very different than it did like when I was a student, right? So when I was a student, you waited in line forever to ring up. You had a stack of books that weighed 100 pounds. It was miserable, right? That doesn't exist anymore. You know, line times are 15 minutes max at the start of the semester. When you come in, a couple things that are different. For those of you who went to school before, typically bookstores were organized alphabetically by class, right? So when you look for Accounting 101, you found your material. We are not organized that way. We're organized alphabetically by author. There's a reason for that. A lot of different classes use the same textbook. And so inevitably what happens, especially on a campus our size, is one section sells out, and then the students are on their phones, they're texting all their friends, oh, we're out of books. There's 19 other sections over here that have that throughout the book room, and the students are special ordering, or they're going to class telling their faculty member they didn't have it. There's all kinds of confusion. It just sets the student up for a bad first week in class. When you organize it alphabetically by author, all those books are in one spot. So the question always comes to me, well, how do I know what I need alphabetically by author as a student? When you use our website or when you come into the store, we have a search feature. You type in your student ID. We pull your course material information. We organize it and give you a printout list alphabetical by author. It saves a significant amount of time because you make one trip through the book room alphabetically. You're in and out. You're not looking for your course section, right? So we all remember like, oh, I have Accounting 101, but I have section 1, and that had a different book than section 34 did, right? So there's none of that to worry about anymore. You just grab that book list, you can print it off ahead of time, you can pull it up on your phone. It's a very seamless process. Am I missing anything on books? Oh, we have a video on how to shop online next.
Hey Bobcats, let's learn how to shop online for course materials. To start, go to msubookstore.org. Once on the homepage, hover over the Course Materials tab and select Search Course Materials. To get your book list for the semester, starting with an N, just type in your student ID number and click Search. Then add your desired textbooks to your shopping cart. You can also search for books by course. Input your desired term, department, acronym, course number, and finally, your section number, which can all be found in your student's schedule. Your course materials can come from a variety of formats. This particular book is inclusive access, signified by the IA in the title of the book. These books will be automatically loaded into your Canvas account. Also, keep in mind to check if this textbook is required or recommended. Our rule of thumb is to wait and see if you need the recommended textbooks. Your books may come in a physical format. Some books come with new and used options. We have a limited number of used textbooks, and these are first come, first served. Finally, some course materials may be lecture notes or course packets. These are typically offered as loose leaf physical format. Once you have added to your cart the course materials you will need, head to checkout by clicking on the shopping bag in the top right corner. You can then sign in or create a new account. And then finally, select your shipping address and your method of delivery. You can have them shipped to your house or picked up in store at the beginning of the semester. Then follow the prompts to complete your order. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us or stop by in store to see a course materials associate. Go Cats!
So our wonderful marketing director, Jackson, right there, doing the voiceover. So a couple more things with course materials specifically. We do still run a used book buyback program. How many people really enjoyed that when you went to school? Yeah, it's a little different here. So we do pay 50% of the new book value. We used to do $500,000 a week in buyback like 10 years ago. Now we do like $5,500 because there's so few print books anymore. But if you buy a book and your faculty member gives us the adoption on time for the next semester, we pay 50% of the new book value as long as we're still buying the quantities. So the way that works out, typically a used book is 25% less expensive than a new book. So if a book's $100, new. Hopefully you bought it used for $75. At the end of the semester, if it's being reused, we do pay 50 bucks. But again, I just caution, we do it. I always recommend if your student has a print textbook, bring it in, let's price it. We'll do the best we can for you. So many books are going digital, it's just less and less every semester, but I bring it up just to mention it. We don't do rentals anymore. I used to talk about rentals at the student presentation. I'd be like, it's like Blockbuster. They had no idea what I was talking about. And they'd be like, it's like Netflix. They still have no idea what I'm talking about because we don't do that anymore. Well, now it's gone. So we don't do rentals. So if you had rentals when you were in school, it's not really a thing anymore. Again, the only time we do a rental is when we work out a specific deal with a faculty member, and then we do an in-house rental. Those are so few and far between anymore because everything's going digital. If you do order online, a couple things to remember. Inclusive access, as we mentioned, you won't be able to add it to your cart, so you don't get billed twice, because we're already handling that billing process with you. It'll be available on the campus. We'll launch that early in August, so your student will have some time before the semester to get familiar with it. If you have any questions, just give us a call. We'll walk through that with you. We'll have experts here for the first week of the semester to help your student out with any questions related to inclusive access, as far as like logging in, opting out of it if they choose to opt out of it, those types of things. If you order online, highly recommend the pick up and store option. It's quick and easy. It doesn't cost, I don't know if you've shipped anything lately, but it's ridiculous. Like shipping stuff across town costs $25. So please don't ship it to your residence hall. Just come pick it up. I always recommend move-in day while everyone else is fighting to move in. Just come over to the bookstore. We're open early. It's a great time to come in, get some stuff. Grab the Gold Rush T-shirt that'll be available. We sell out of those every year, so your student's gonna want one of those. Any new product, that kind of stuff. Get them all set up, ready to go. Ask those questions so they don't have any concerns going into the classes the first day of the semester. It's super important to us that your student has the material by the first day. So as we mentioned in the video, do not buy recommended texts until you go to class. Required textbooks. There's a lot of evidence, a lot of statistics. There's white papers out there, peer-reviewed research. Students that have materials the first day of class are significantly more likely to do better in that class. They have a lower DFW, which is drop, fail, or withdrawal rate, by having the material ahead of time, right? They're prepared, they're ready to go. Some of your students will have required reading prior to the start of class. So that's a big reason why we do the digital push here on campus. We're always looking for students. We hire about 80 student workers a year. They are the backbone of the store. You can tell right now it's the summer, we don't have any. So it's a little more difficult to run the store this time of year. Super flexible with hours, convenient locations both here and at the mall. We start at 15 bucks an hour. There's built-in raises every year for the students. Most of our students that come as a freshman stay all the way through their senior year. We're pretty proud of that. I still talk to a ton of my former student employees. I just had one stop in last week who's now a HR VP for some big company here out west, and so it's kind of fun to see former students. It's a great on-the-job professional training. Massive discount on everything but textbooks. We don't discount textbooks. That kind of goes against our mission. Great way to make campus connections. Big thing that a lot of our students love is it's guaranteed access to athletic events. So they only issue a certain amount of tickets to students. Our students get in every game. And special events too. We just got done doing the Mumford & Sons concert. That was a blast. So lots of great ways to get involved on campus by working with us. And then once their student is a sophomore, next slide, they can become a board director. So I report to a board of directors. It consists of 3 faculty, a campus administrator, a presidential appointee, and 3 students. And so we're always looking for student board directors. There is nothing better on a resume going out of college and going into the workforce than having nonprofit board experience. And it is true board experience. These students do have, there's a working component to this. It's a $15 million budget. There's a lot that goes on. Our students are heavily involved in that process. They help us make policies, procedures, all that stuff. So when we talk about being student and faculty owned, there's a true component to that. Our students help drive the processes and the policies of the store. It's a great opportunity. I'm always looking for student board directors. This is how you can keep up with us. Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. At MSU, it's all at MSU Bookstore, right?
Look up books and stuff like that. You can search that and just get through all the junk I said before that, go right to the video. Our website 24/7, we're on X. Instagram's probably the biggest that we have. And we'll talk a little bit at the end, like if you follow us, there's some options there for you. We do consistent sales. One of our probably biggest and most exciting that people love is 50% off clearance. I don't think we're running that right now, but you never know when we do. We do the Black Canvas pop-up events all the time. We do all kinds of events. We did a succulent event on Earth Day, so students came in, they got to plant succulents. It was hugely popular. A lot of autograph signings with NIL athletes. We do a pumpkin carving contest every year, Halloween costume, all kinds of stuff. There's more reasons to just buying stuff for a student to pop into the store. And our Bobcat Basic program, probably our most popular program we have in the store as far as like, value price stuff, quick hits that are always available in the store.